now it's time for Hardcore Wrestling Radio's Raw Reaction. Hello, everyone. I am your hardcore host, Rick Head, and I got the hardcore crew here with me. First, he's the incomparable Lance Moss over at Lance Moss TV. Lance, what's up?
Oh, not much. Just watched. Raw's definitely improving over the start of the month. So I'm really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it was a great Raw. It was a Raw go-home show right before Hell in a Cell. And I would like to welcome our special guest, Terry Bear. Terry, what's going on?
Not much, and thanks for having me on.
Well, it's always a pleasure. We always love to have new people coming on the Hardcore Wrestling Radio. For those of you who are listening who want to be a part of the show, you can always post messages in the chat room, or even if you want to post me a message in the chat room in our HWR chat room over on Facebook, send me a message, and hey, you just might be a part of the show. We always want to hear your thoughts. But let's start off with the opening segment. Stone Cold Steve Austin came out and instantly introduced The Undertaker. Now, I thought there was going to be some kind of dialogue between the two, but that just wasn't the case. I think they really brought all these guys out just to add the star power, just to up the ratings, because the ratings haven't really been that great, and the shows haven't been that great, guys. In short, Undertaker comes out, talks about the Hell in a Cell match and how, he may have had, lost a few matches, but when you lose, when you're a man who lost everything, you have nothing to lose. Brock Lesnar comes out, and they kind of teased like they were going to fight, but obviously it just never happened. It was more of like a quick face-off. Lance, your thoughts about the opening segment?
Yeah, you could kind of see it going like that. With these two, you never know when they're going to actually pull the trigger to let them have a little brawl and just have them get broken up by the staff, like when they first started this storyline. But yeah, so you really can't tell who's going to go over on this one.
Yeah. Terry, your thoughts on this opening segment? Was it really even necessary, or do you think that, could they have done more with the segment?
Well, I think I pretty much agree with what Lance has already stated. I don't think there's really a whole lot they could do. I mean, it's been forever and ever.
No. I think that they post, the promos longer than the actual segment, so it was all right for what it was. So, moving on, we got to go to the New Day, where they faced 3D, and it was an okay match. I think some good spots there. I think the really good part was after the match. Xavier got the roll up, and after that, Woods got some wood. Terry, what'd you think of this match?
Yeah, wasn't anything spectacular. I mean, I haven't been really watching wrestling a whole lot lately, but it seemed to be the theme for the night. It seemed like a lot of the matches were just kind of ho hum, but the ending of the matches is where it seemed like anything interesting was going on.
Yeah, I have to agree. Lance, your thoughts on this match and how it ended?
Well, I'm kind of hoping that these guys keep going through tables. It'll lead up to a table match, maybe Sunday, maybe I don't know, maybe down the road. Anyway, but at least the trombone is dead.
Yeah, well, this Sunday is Hell in a Cell, and unfortunately, it's not going to be a table match. You figured that they would have added that, but I think what they're waiting for is the TLC match.
TLC or Survivor Series, one of the two.
Yeah, and the way they've been promoting it, you figured they would have had that kind of a match. Obviously, it's just not the case. Moving along, we're going to go to the Divas match. Now, this was, again, not a bad match. It was Team Bad versus Team Bella. It was Alicia and Nikki versus Naomi and Sasha Banks. There were some good spots in this match. I wouldn't really say it's ho-hum. It was one of the better matches of the night. Lance, your thoughts?
Well, any match that
start of the month.
Nikki Bella's in automatically kind of gets a little downgrade for me because I'm not a fan. But anyway, yeah, it was an alright match. Then again, Team Badge on the other side or as I call them, they should be calling Team Sav for Sasha Banks and friends. But yeah, it's a pretty good match.
All right, Terry, your thoughts?
Again, going with the theme of, at least with all the male matches in the night, it seems like they're always been pretty much ho-hum. But as much as I have been kind of watching Raw and that lately more, the women's division seems to be the better matches on the shows. And again, this match was a really good match. And it didn't seem like there was any really odd bumps or whatnot other than maybe once. So, I mean, to me, I thought it was a good match.
Yeah. After that, HBK Shawn Michaels came out. Again, just promoting Hell in a Cell, promoting WrestleMania. Again, I think they had all these guys just to raise the star power, hopefully to get better ratings. I was expecting Shawn Michaels. Seth Rollins comes out, and I was expecting him to hit him with sweet chin music. Rollins called himself Shawn Michaels 2.0, and Shawn Michaels says, "Hey, you know what? I've always tried to be myself, not somebody else." And it was pretty much that. After that, he told him that he was going to have a match with Ryback and Rollins. Rollins was going to have a match with Ryback. Excuse me. And again, this match between the two, Ryback and Rollins, nothing's really spectacular. Rollins did get the win with the pedigree, and that was, for the most part, it. I've never really been a big fan of Ryback. He has the look, he has the strength, but the mic skills and even the wrestling skills, that's about it. Lance, what did you think about this match?
Well, first, y'all all know, huge HBK mark. And to me, Seth Rollins can't hold Shawn Michaels' jock strap, let alone be in his league. But, yeah, you kind of see it coming. Ryback, you kind of tell he was going to get squashed.
Yeah, it was all too predictable. I absolutely have to agree with you. We're going to move on to Charlotte versus Brie Bella, which was the second Divas match of the night. Now, even though I kind of expected Charlotte to go over, for what it was really a decent match. Some really good spots. There looked like there might have been like one or two botches through the match, but nothing really to whine about or even cry about. Because I think botches happen everywhere in wrestling, and it's just overall, I have to say it was a great match. Terry, your thoughts?
I have to fully agree with you. I mean, I really haven't watched much of Charlotte in NXT myself. So, I mean, I seen some moves that you pointed out to me she's actually been doing down in NXT. So I was actually kind of impressed with Charlotte. But, for the most part, I agree with you. I mean, again, the women's division in WWE seems to be something that's more interesting and more enjoyable to watch than most of the male matches.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you. As I said before the show, it seems as if WWE is taking a page out of TNA, because TNA Knockouts was great, and it just seems that they're starting to rise to the challenge. Lynch, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, granted, to me, this is. Well, I think of the two Bella sisters, Brie is definitely the more technical and better athlete. So this was definitely the better match of the two Divas matches. And then you had, Charlotte, it's in her blood. So obviously this is going to be the better match. Figure 8, bam, boom. Ric Flair's playing the back crying because, let's face it, anytime Charlotte wins, he cries.
Well, I think he was more crying because he was just drunk and he was a drunken slobbering.
Yeah, but no, I think that he cries when he finds the bottom of the glass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love you, Nate, but you drink a lot.
Yeah. After that, we had the 6-man tag, and it just seemed to be a time filler. It was Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, and I forget who else. That's how forgettable the match really was. Against Oh, sorry, Rusev was also in there. Okay, there we go. And it was against Dolph Ziggler and two other guys. Again, just this match was just that forgettable. In short, um, King Barrett gets the win with the help of Sheamus, who gives him a bro kick from the outside of the ring, and he gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Guys, any thoughts on this match? Terry, you first.
No, again, I agree with you. I mean, it just really was just like you said, just filler. And I mean, again, most of the guy matches on Raw tonight were just, pretty much I wouldn't say subpar, but nothing that was like mind blowing or like, oh, that was cool or whatever. It just seemed like it was the theme for the night.
I think probably one of the better matches of the night was, of course, the main event, and that was the Shield versus the Wyatt family. Now, we saw Eric Rowan come back, and I really thought that Eric Rowan would have come back as a babyface, because I would have liked to have seen like the white sheep versus the black sheep, and it just wasn't the case. They wanted to keep him with the Wyatts, and all the Wyatts are now 4 strong. Luke Harper was very conspicuous by his absence tonight, but either way, this was a good match. I expected Seth Rollins at some point to bail on the 2, and of course he faked an injury, and that's exactly what happened. Strowman had pretty much Reigns in his modified bear hug, and that's when Ambrose was like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to go out, get myself a kendo stick, and then that's where really all hell broke loose, and we saw Roman Reigns clean house. Literally, he jumped over the top rope, knocking all 3 of the guys down. Wyatt and Strowman, but Rollins gets in the ring, and he pretty much hits them both with a spear, and that's where we end Raw. Lance, your thoughts?
Wow. Was this as good as the other 6-man tags, these 2 factions? Or, I'm sorry, according to WWE, this was not a Shield reunion, bullshit. But, was it, compared to the matches these 6 guys have had in the past? No. Was it a fairly decent match and ending segment? Yes, even though I was expecting when Seth Rollins unasked it and went up the ramp to hear just pyrotechnics go off and him get chased out of the arena by Kane, but other than that, it was good.
Terry, your thoughts on the match, and just overall, what'd you think about the Raw tonight?
Yeah, in regards to the last match, again, it just kept slowly rumbling along. It was the same stuff that always seems to go on between those 2 groups. And the only bit of excitement was, again, when Rollins faked the injury, and that last little bit of the match, that was when the real excitement really occurred and how it actually ended. So, myself, for not actually watching the whole Raw, again, the general consensus for me, and the reason why I haven't been watching a whole lot of wrestling or mainly WWE stuff, has been just everything is a rehash of the same crapola, if I can say it. Like, John Cena wins. John Cena wins. John Cena wins. When's it ever end? So, again, the only best highlights of the night were just like a few spots and a few matches, and overall the women matches.
All right. And Lance, your thoughts overall about tonight's Raw, and if you have to, what would you consider the high points and the low points?
Really wasn't very many low points. Didn't have too much Cena, which y'all know my opinion, not a huge Cena guy, but yeah. Low points, little 6-man tag heavy in my opinion. High points, I gotta admit, well, like I said, as the HBK mark I am, seeing him on Raw again, and I gotta admit, I was a little pumped up to see the Shield the unofficial Shield reunion again.
I would have liked to have seen the Shield really work together in full force for this one match. Maybe even do the triple power bomb, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously, right now they want to keep Seth Rollins a heel. Overall, it's just it was a better Raw than what we've seen before, but it's still rather watered down. Obviously, they had to have these 6-man tags because they wanted to kind of fit everything up to boost all the matches. By the way, we will be having our live picks tomorrow night on our special edition of In the Moment. Make sure you join us for that. We noticed that there's going to be a new kickoff match because Randy Orton, for some reason, is I guess he's injured. It's a kayfabe injury, obviously. We haven't figured out yet what exactly is going on. If we do, we'll have an update over on our chat room.
Well, I have a theory.
Okay.
He either got suspended or bought a vacation.
And that's very possible. If he got injured so far, it's still not very clear as what's going on. But you know what? We're going to wrap things up right here, and we want to know your thoughts. What were your best matches? What were your worst matches? What did you think of Raw overall as a whole? Please put those comments in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the like of the video and take 5 seconds out and hit the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. I am your Rick Head. I am your hardcore host, Rick Head. I can't even fucking talk tonight. Don't mind me. And I would like to thank both Lance Moss and Terry Bear coming on the show. Lance, where can everybody find you, and what do you got going on?
You can find me at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. I got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews. Every Wednesday, I go live at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I don't know what the hell it is on the West Coast.
I don't think anybody really cares.
Yeah,
but the West Coast.
And you can also, and half the time you can find Terry Bear there too. And also hit me up on Twitter. It's at LanceMossTV.
Alright. So, for everybody here, I am your hardcore Rick Head saying, we'll see you.